Welcome to the Westeros Media Podcast, Lessons from the Ashes. We are here to tell the Phoenix Rising stories, coming up from the ashes to build businesses, to build personal brands, to parent, coming out, all of it. The stories of those who came from nothing and did great things. We all have a Phoenix Rising story, and I can't wait to hear yours. Join me every week for new podcast episodes. And of course, make sure you follow the show so that you never miss an episode. See you soon. All right, welcome back to the Westeros Media Podcast, Lessons from the Ashes. We have a very exciting guest today who I've known for like a bajillion years, but only as friends recently, so that's fun. Yeah. Everybody welcome. Tam, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you. Well, my name is Tamara. I don't know what to say about myself. I like to call myself a mover and a maker.
Oh.
That's the things that make me happy. That's what makes my soul happy. To intentional movement and creating, like I like to create things that, to me, I describe that as my art. Whether, it's photography, or I like to sew, or just, I like taking things that are simple and expressing the beauty in the simplicity of it. That's kind of my favorite thing. I'm pretty simple, though. I mean, oh, that's a fucking lie.
Simple in a sparkly way.
Well, I think that the older I get, the more I've realized that the less I need. Mm-hmm. And that's why I feel like I'm in my simple era.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so very recently I decided I needed to, the main focus of my life needed to be to recover from the horrible adrenal fatigue that I had been experiencing. And heal myself from that. And I realized the only way to do that was to completely dial my life down. So I looked at what are the things that are important to me, and I took everything else out. And it's been fantastic. I have so much peace and quite a bit of joy. So what else is there? At the end of the day, I love the people in my life. My relationships are important to me, my community, taking care of myself, and also because I am in the position where I get to teach, sharing that in any way that I can, I guess. I want people to feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
That's the thing I hope for. Mm-hmm. If I meet someone, or even for, if it's like a fleeting moment, or if it's for an extended period of time, I always hope that I can, first of all, be honest. Honesty is very important to me. And then help them feel seen. Mm-hmm. Or just listened to.
Yeah, I think that's like really missing in the world right now. I feel like there's like two spaces. It's like people who are so overwhelmed they can't even cope, and people who are like, you're not doing enough. And then you're like, just like, what the fuck do I even, how do I do it? It's like, yeah, you should be taking care of yourself, but like, if you're not doing this good of yoga, then it's not good enough. And I just, when my kids were smaller, I felt like there was literally no way I could win.
No.
It's like I had to take care of them, but I also had to like self-care myself. But like I didn't even know how to do that. And so I just was like, I'm just going to fail at everything and just drink too much. And that will solve it. And of course it didn't.
No, it doesn't. And then it just turns into like a vicious cycle. And I think that getting real with yourself, you know, it's really hard.
Oh, yeah.
So I was definitely in that space. I've been in that space like as a mom. That totally resonates with me. And I think, you know, and this is something that if you're friends with me or you've sat with me and talked with me, it always comes back to letting go. And a while back, I decided that no one else is going to live my life for me. I saw a target. What I wanted was happiness. And I just decided I'm just going to shoot my arrow and let it go and hit that target. And that was what, you know, we actually had a conversation that I remember I had signed up for one of your courses when I had my shop, and which I loved our moments we had together. And I remember talking to you about your grandmother and her story, and it's actually very similar to my own grandmother's story. And I think that that's my great grandmother, who my daughter's named after, Lydia. And I think that was a pivotal moment for me, actually, when you talked about your grandmother, how she had lived her whole life, and then her spouse had passed away, your grandfather, and then you said that all of a sudden, like, I think you said she was like in her 80s,
Yeah.
and she just like blossomed into this like person that was like fulfilled and like embodied, and I was like, fuck, yeah. I'm not waiting that long.
That's
Fuck
exactly.
that shit. Like, I was like living in a holding pattern of this energy that you're talking about, of feeling like I'm never enough for 20 years.
It's a long time, and it goes way too, then you're like, where did all that time go?
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. And during that time, you know, I dedicated it to being a mom. That's been an interesting journey for me. I think that if I'm hot take.
Let's hear it.
I never wanted to be a mom. I never wanted to be a mom. When I was younger, I was a kid who was born and was just like, fuck it, this is me. Like, my mom used to say things all the time, like, she'd leave me alone with a group of kids, and then she'd come back and she'd be like, everyone would be naked when I would come back. Because I'd be like, let's take our clothes off and run around. And everyone would be like, what's wrong with that kid? And I'm like, no, it feels good.
Just do it.
It feels good. You might feel ashamed for a moment, but just let it go. I mean, when I was a child, I mean, but children definitely have more access to that.
Yeah.
In a more vulnerable and authentic way. They don't have as much to unpack to get there.
Yeah.
It's like they just exist.
They just are there already.
I love that. Yeah. Why do we lose that? We shouldn't.
Probably because we're been told that we have to be ashamed.
I know.
Right?
Yeah,
like my daughter,
messages.
Right? Yeah. My daughter the other night, because we use like the technical terms for everything. Like, I am fucking militant on this. I'm like, we are never calling your vulva a cookie or some bullshit like that. Like, fuck that. So my little daughter comes strutting out. I'm like, what you doing? She's like, going to wash my hands so I can play with my vagina because I love my vagina. And I was like,
oh,
thank you.
Yes.
I'm like, can you imagine how many years we could have just of trauma and shit we could have skipped if everyone just keeps that energy?
I had this conversation with my daughter recently because some stuff has come up. Like, I love being single. Being single is, I think that like I said, I never wanted to be a mom. And again, the message is, the way I was raised, I mean, I didn't feel like I could be fulfilled as, or that my purpose as a human on this planet could be fulfilled, or that I wasn't doing my job if I didn't get married and have kids and make that my number one thing.
Yeah.
That's what I was raised to believe. But me, what I wanted was, I'm moved to New York City. I'm going to go and do, like, you know, I went to fashion school because I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
And I lived with so much self-doubt and not enough people in my corner telling me you can do it.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm here, because I hope that message is clear. I want people who are struggling, who feel alone, who are like in their heart know who they are, but are so like feeling that energy of like lack and self-doubt that they can't go for it.
Yeah.
That being said, I love my children. I
know the feeling of being like, you're not my everything, but I love you with every part of me, which is super weird.
Well, it's hard because I think, like, you know, I'm in this situation now too, where I'm single and I'm, you know, I have a 12-year-old and my 12-year-old doesn't live with me. And their life up until, you know, being separated from their dad and you know, like apart from their dad. I mean, we coexisted in this house together, to be honest. It was like absolutely miserable, but I slept in the same bed with them. Like my youngest child was my, you know, my for quite some time, my everything. Gave my life purpose when I had no meaning.
Yeah.
It was dark time for me. I got pregnant. I wanted another baby so badly. I just felt strongly that there was a child for me to bring to this earth. And I don't know why I felt that. But as soon as I gave birth to my middle child, I'm not kidding, she came out fucking screaming. And the moment she came out, it was like I could feel this other little person there. And I was like, there's one more.
Yeah.
Shit.
Again.
It's like a fucking burden. It's like you know, let's talk about that. It's fucking hard being a mom.
It so
sucks.
hard. Yeah.
It sucks for so many fucking reasons. It's like you are expected to give.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're expected to feel guilt.
Yeah.
Shame.
And probably feel guilt even if you are giving everything, because it's probably not enough.
You feel it either way.
Look at so-and-so, they made Pinterest cupcakes and you bought some.
And honestly, like I've never been that mom, and I'll never be that mom. Like when I used to have my shop and I would talk to women all day long. And that was a very interesting experience. But I would talk to so many moms who would just go on and on and on about the accomplishments of their children. Well, mine is doing this and mine is doing that and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, who the fuck cares, man? Let me talk to your child. I'd like to hear your child tell me their story. You think that you've accomplished something because you got your kid to go to university or do this or do that? Are they a good person?
Yeah.
I only ever told my kids, the most important thing to me is that they do what makes them happy, and that they take care of themselves, and that they be a good person.
Yeah.
The rest is up to them.
Yeah.
We don't own our kids.
No. And how much pressure on them, like if they don't get into university or they don't whatever, like you rolling around being like, this child's amazing. What about your other child? Like, what if they're like, I don't want to do that. I want to go backpack through Europe and smoke a lot of weed, Mom. Like, what are you going to say about them in the Christmas card?
Well, that was my life. You know, I'm the black sheep.
Oh, I remember.
It's quite clear. Yeah. Yes. It's quite clear in my family. I mean, being raised Mormon and not subscribing to that religion from the time I was pretty small, but going through the motions, not having any options.
Yeah.
You know, being taught and told, and I have, you know, don't get me wrong, I recognize my privilege. At the same time, the toxic environment I was raised in, as far as that religion went, was so detrimental to me fundamentally as who I am.
Oh, yeah.
And I reject every single thing about that. And I'll tell you, as I've unpacked my shit, because I've done a lot of work, I've done therapy, I fucking dug deep. I've done the fucking mushroom journeys. Okay, so that's out there now. I just, you know, I think that it's been interesting. Well, and, you know, like amazing breathwork sessions and through my yoga practice and just my journey to lean into my authenticity. I've realized a lot of my trauma stems from the religion I was raised in and the messages that were given to me as a woman and as like how I'm supposed to show up as a human being. I feel that the messages are not clear and because it's like sort of like a facade of like love and acceptance and you know, God loves you. But only if you do these things.
Right. There's a long list of shit. Unconditional love, except for these 25 things.
If you don't fit into that box, you know, maybe feel like that shame and that guilt and then work on yourself until you can feel better. So instead, what did I do? I developed a severe eating disorder. I became a meth addict at the age of 15. I ran away from home. You know, I think that that experience, what it did for me was really understand the importance of being able to be seen and loved without anything else. You as you are now is all you need to be.
Yeah.
That's all you were ever needing to be, this now. And how you are now is you are so worthy. Just the fact that you exist makes you worthy of every dream you could ever imagine. Because the universe loves you and supports you. You are here to succeed. This human experience is about that love. And how can you show that? How can you share that? It wins every time.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think that for me and my journey and my experience too, it's been so much about letting go.
Yeah.
And that's where I come back to, like, you know, feeling that sense of simplicity. It's like, when I picture my dream life, I don't imagine, I mean, don't get me wrong. I fucking love to put on a ballin' dress and like go out in a limo and drink the champagne and like, you know, like wear the diamonds. Like, I can also feel very at ease and very much myself in that space, but where I'm consistently happy and at peace is when, for example, you know, it's quiet and I'm watching the sunset, or I fucking cried the other day. I cried at the sunset, okay? I watched the fucking sunset and tears came to my eyes, and
that's like me and the moon. Every time I see the moon, I'm like, oh,
right? But like that right there is the magic.
Yeah.
That's what I'm living for. Mm-hmm. I'm living for that moment, you know?
Because if you can only be happy in like the sparkly ball gown champagne moments, then
it's just
you
a
still have
distraction.
the rest of your life.
Well, it's just a distraction.
Yeah. And
right?
even for the richest, most successful people, that's only a fraction of the time. Like you got to be able to handle all the other shit. Like I used to think when I'm successful, then this and this and this and this won't bother me. And then I was like, oh no, I need to just get used to all of this, because even if I had $10 million, my kid would still run across the street ass naked and interrupt us, right? Like
totally.
That's like the life. And I don't want to change that. And I don't want to change her. I don't want to tell her, you don't fit here.
No.
I want her to be that weird ass kid forever.
Yeah. Well, because that's what matters.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, money can come and go. Mm-hmm. Anything we have, even our own children, you know, we like to hold on to our children like they're a commodity.
Yeah.
You know, that's been the hardest lesson for me, letting go of that child that I had in my bed and was my comfort. Mm-hmm. And now, you know, they're going through their personal journey, which I am so excited to watch them experience. But I am now watching it a little bit from the outside, and it's very difficult. It's been a difficult place to navigate as their mom, and it's been extremely painful. It's been physically painful sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's taught me the greatest lesson in letting go. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not a lesson I wanted to learn.
No. But I think every parent we have to learn that lesson like 1,000 times over and over, right? It's like the first time you wean a baby, or the first time you like all these things, right? You're like, wait a second. And they keep changing. Like I never like really got the people who are like, oh, I just miss the baby so much. And I'm like, I like every new phase better. Mm-hmm. Like I'm super happy that everyone can tie their own shoes and wipe their own ass. Like I'm so fucking grateful.
Oh yeah.
And also like,
wait until they're grown. You're going to love it.
The people who are like, you only have 18 years. And then I'm like, but I hang out with my mom all the time. And I'm like, I like her more now that I'm an adult. And maybe she likes me more. I don't know. Maybe I should ask her.
Let's call her up right now.
Right? Mom, listen, we're live on the podcast and we need to know, do you like me? I think she does.
Yeah.
But
I think we could probably say she does.
I think so. She keeps coming around.
She hasn't gone anywhere.
I know.
It's weird, she hasn't moved away and not told you her new address.
That's true. I think that's just the metric I'm going to.
Yeah.
But it's like so weird that they like, everyone's like, I want them to be a strong, independent person, but like also let me do everything for you. And like, let me hold you so tight and like all these things. Like people get appalled at the things I let my kids do, but I'm like, they need to learn to be fucking independent.
Yeah.
You know? But I, like, when we split, I was like, I would lay awake at night sobbing because I was like, I'm going to miss everything. I'm going to miss half their life. And now I'm like, no, sometimes I'm not with them. And it's actually not what I expected. And there's moments that I'm like, fuck, this would be easier if we were together family. But also, like, a lot of things that weren't. Because, like, every single married person I know fucking endlessly bitches about their spouse. And I have so much love and respect for their dad now because I don't have to take care of him. Unpopular opinion. But I think the people who hate men the most are straight women who are married to them. And it's like, all that they do is bitch. And I'm like, I have so much love and tender respect now that I don't have to care for him.
Yeah. I think that if I have any, you know, I don't like to look back and say like, if I could change or whatever. I mean, but it's, as you process your grief, I think it's pretty unavoidable. I mean, unless you're like, I don't know, I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I imagine that it's fairly unavoidable for most people to do the what if game. I think that that is the hardest thing for me, is that I am a person who felt very secure fighting the status quo growing up, just showing up as I was and being like, you don't like it? Fuck you. And then I diverged to try and accomplish this goal that I thought was going to be like the point of my life. And I found that looking back, you know, the only time I can sense that I have regret in my life is all the times where I wasn't true to myself.
Yeah.
And that experience as, you know, a Mormon married housewife was that for me. And I didn't have anybody in my life that loved me enough or was willing to speak to that. Everybody just wanted me to fit into the box, shut the fuck up, don't cause any problems, do the things. And I did them because, you know, from the time I was born, I was told this is what will make you happy.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it didn't. Yeah, it didn't. Didn't make me happy. And I don't think, you know, I don't think that I was necessarily cut out for marriage even. Like I love the idea of having a partner that I can work. I like working with people. I like feeling like there's a collaborative effort. That's where I get off. That's something that I continue to look for, whatever that looks like now. But I definitely feel like I kind of went through this weird time where I, you know, put myself on hold, didn't really, lowered my expectations. That's what I did.
Yeah.
And I don't think people should do that.
No. But also, if you think about like the way you were raised in like my different religions, same shit.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, marriage from the lens of religion is not collaborative at all.
No.
It is, he rules the things and you comply and handle all of the emotional and physical labor. And all you got to do is trust him and God and you'll be fucking fine. And it turns out that is untrue for literally everyone. And then you wonder why people are so pissed off and they don't feel fulfilled. It's because we never started these contracts, which they are, marriage, with like, hey, we're just two people who want to learn and grow together. It was like, you're the husband, you're the wife, these are your roles. Don't fuck it up because everyone else is having a really nice time. And if you ruffle this around too much, other people got to look at themselves. So like, please hush down a bit because you're being a little loud.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. And like, it's so funny that I, you know, was definitely not, that was not my intention for my life. I was like very free, very like experimental and I did experiment and I learned a lot and I had a lot of fun and I felt good about it. I didn't feel supported and I definitely, you know, did some things that like I had to, heal myself from. But transitioning from that into this like super tradition. I mean, I set myself up for failure is what I did. Like I signed on for that traditional, it would like when I was a stay-at-home mom, like I took care of the home, I cooked, I cleaned, I did the children's things. I, would gather my children and wait. I would hear my ex-husband's car, and I would gather the children, and we would stand at the top of the stairs and greet him when he walked in the door. Wow. And that was like, to me, like, I'm fucking winning.
Yeah. Nailed
it, right? I think that that's maybe been the hardest part for my family, because I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. Mm-hmm. I hit a wall, and I realized, like I said, no one else is going to live my life for me. And before I am anyone else's, I am mine.
Yeah.
And I had given myself away, and I don't think that's fair. And I don't think anybody should do that. Mm-hmm. I just don't think it's fair to ever ask that of anybody. And I don't think it's fair to do that to yourself. And the world needs you as you are.
Yeah.
Like, the world needs you as you are. And through that time when I was dedicated to my religion and living that life, I definitely, like, I was always in a position of leadership, typically with over the younger girls, the teenage girls, for years. And I have a shoebox full of letters from different girls that I've known over the years. Sorry. That makes it worth it, I think. Like, my children are my children, and they are going to be my children regardless. But the young women that I've been able to connect with over the years and know that I'm the only one maybe that's looking at them and telling them, I love you as you are. Mm-hmm. I don't think that they, it became apparent to me that was something that was really missing from a lot of their lives.
Yeah.
And I did make that my work. Mm-hmm. I did make that my work, to speak to them and offer them unconditional love.
The real kind.
The real kind. Yeah. The kind that's like, hey,
Yeah.
Like, to be vulnerable, be silly, be embarrassed, be ugly, cry.
Yeah.
Right? I am such an ugly crier.
Oh, me too. I've never been a cute crier. Oh. It's like really grody, and one of my closest friends is the most beautiful crier I've ever seen in my life. And every time I'm like, I don't think I'm very supportive, because I'm curious how perfect it is.
But also, like, I'm an Aquarius, so I feel like whenever someone's crying around me, I'm just like, do you like a drink of water?
You're good, right?
I always give, like, the most awkward hug. I'm like, let me hold you.
It's okay.
Also, are you going to keep crying? But also, I will freely cry. Yeah. So it's not reciprocal. It's like, if I'm crying, bitch, you better fucking hold me like a baby.
It's happening.
Oh my God. So good.
Okay, so I want to go back to the unconditional love thing. This thing has been bothering me so much.
Really?
Because I feel like, of all the weird shit religion has done, the gaslighting around the term unconditional love is the one that pisses me off the most. And I can't get it out of my head right now.
Well, especially because you're queer.
Yeah. Because, like, literally I sat in the church and was like, listening, there's unconditional love, except this one thing that you can't change about yourself. And I think that, like, even though you were in the church when you were doing, like, that work with those girls, like, imagine if they didn't have that, like they needed you?
I have imagined. Yeah. I mean, because I didn't have that.
Mm-mm.
So like, I'll tell you a funny story. So when I was 15, so my parents would force me to go to church, and it was really traumatic for me. And when I was 15, I shaved my head, and I had just, I had a lot of queer friends, and it always really, really bothered me from the time I was really young. I remember laying in bed at night when I was I remember the house I lived in. I would have been in grade 3. And I remember laying in bed at night because this was around the time when I first sort of was exposed to that queer people exist. And of course, I remember my parents talking about it and feeling like I was just kind of like a fly on the wall. And I remember being really upset by the things that they were saying, and just I didn't understand. I think that they had watched a movie or something. Maybe there was a queer character in the movie. And it really bothered me. And I remember laying in bed, and I remember feeling wounded, to my soul. I just felt and fear. I had fear. I actually, felt like I, over the years, as I, like I said, experimented and went, into the world at large and met all the people I met and did all the things I did. I always wondered why that cut so deep, because, I discovered, no, I'm, not queer, but I got there through self-discovery. I had these feelings, and I turned towards them, and I explored them, and I discovered who I am. I think that that's the journey that we should be allowed and supported to have.
Yeah.
And so when I was 15, I shaved my head, and I had just had to speak with the religious leader at church, and had a little conversation with him. And I was like, yeah, I'm just living my life and trying to be nice to people. And I just, I really love people. I love and accept people. And that's why I have a really hard time here. And I remember him looking at me and saying, and he'd known me since I was really little. And he said, you know what? I think you're doing okay. I think you're a good person. So I thought, well, that was weird.
Interesting play.
So I shaved my head, and then the next day, it was the next day I shaved my head. I just went to my friend Chris's house, and we were fucking around, and I was like, well, I shaved my head. And he got out the clippers and shaved my hair off. And my parents were totally traumatized. And the same religious leader came to my house the next day and sat down with me in my living room. I remember my parents made me sit down with him, and they said, or he said, why did you shave your head? Do you have odd ideas about sexual orientation? Those were his exact words.
Oh my God.
I was like, no, literally, I was like, I don't even know what to say right now. All I said to him was, I am today right here, right now, with this haircut, the exact same person you spoke to yesterday, and I got up and I left.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that, I don't think that he expected that.
Well, probably not.
No, and I, that, was just one experience I had. Like, I was totally ostracized. Why the fuck would I want to take part in a religion that ostracized me because I had a new haircut?
Right.
I just, and say what you want. Like, that was just my experience. If at the same time, I want to say that your journey is your journey. This is my journey. I can only speak to my journey.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is my own experiences. We are all living in our own stream of consciousness. You're going to choose what you want to choose at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
What I choose is actual love and acceptance.
Yeah.
And if you feel you need religion, I will never take that away from you.
Mm-hmm.
But I will also speak truly and openly about my own experiences.
Yeah.
Because they really happened.
Yeah.
And
you're not alone.
I am not
so
alone.
many stories like this.
There are so many. Yeah.
And no wonder you felt unsafe, like as the little grade 3 you, because shaving your head, you were all of a sudden unsafe, even like just being queer adjacent. Like not even, like you didn't come out to your parents, all you did was shave your head.
My mom used to, when I used to fight with my parents, I remember my mom saying to me one time, why are you so, angry all the time and fighting with me about gay people? Are you gay? And I was like, oh, I'm not even going to validate that with response. But, now, my 12-year-old is queer, and I am so grateful. I'm so grateful that, and I'll be honest with you, when they were born, the moment I gave birth to them, I looked over at the table where they had taken them to, clean them off. Mm-hmm. I looked at my child and I knew my child was queer, and I absolutely fucking knew that in the depth of my soul. Mm-hmm. I knew that child was queer, and I knew I was going to have to walk away from that church to protect them. And it took me years, because I had entrenched myself so much in that life, and I had dedicated myself. Mm-hmm. And I was living the depth of a lie. Mm-hmm. And I had to untangle it. And it took me a long time, but I got there. Yeah. And I did a lot of that for them. And when they came out to me,
you did.
Well, yeah, when they came out to me, they said, they said, Mom, I'm a lesbian, and I don't want to share, a lot about their story, because that's for them to share. But I did say, I know, because I'm your mom, and I see you. Yeah. But then I think there's, it's like a little bit of that, the teenage kid backlash. It's like, but I want to be angry. Right? Because I'm so hormonal. Right? It's hard being young.
It's very hard. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you got to push back up against something.
You do.
And so
parents are your safe place.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And there's all sorts of pushing back and
I know
things. And
I know. And half the time now I just feel like, I feel so awkward. I just realized the only thing I can do, the best thing I can do to support my children is to take care of myself, is to be true to myself and be healthy and happy and active and do all the things, and then always have my arms open. Mm-hmm. My arms are always open. But also I've set boundaries with my children. Mm-hmm. Because I think that's fair. I think that's, something I had to learn. Because it's like, they're your children and you do love them. But then there's been moments where I'm like, I actually wouldn't let anyone else in my life treat me like this.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm teaching them to be good people if I don't set boundaries with them.
They have to learn how to set their own too. So they're going to watch you, and
that's the only way I think you can really teach people is through example. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and I think that's what that's all about, living as authentically as you can and being as honest and showing up as honestly as you can in your life.
Yeah.
Is that piece.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like my children watching me change my mind and being open to changing my mind is like one of the best things I can give them. Because that was one thing that I never saw was like, you stick with it. Like, even if it's the worst fucking idea, it's like, you fucking die on that hill. 20
years.
There 20 die years, on that fucking hill. Yeah. And I just want my kids to be able to be like, tried it out, not for me. I think that's what scares the shit out of people about queerness. Mm-hmm. And there's so many vocally angry men against queerness. And I'm like, is it because you maybe thought something once and you're so terrified? Mm-hmm. Like, having a thought or feeling a feeling doesn't tie you to a label. And I think people are so scared of that. I'm like, you don't have to choose any label.
Yeah.
You can do things or feel things and try them out and then choose for yourself. And I think people don't understand that. And they're so terrified of their own selves that there's all this like lashing out of fear. It's like a whole bunch of dogs fear biting. And I'm like, what is going on inside your heads right now? Mm-hmm. But I think it's a lot of that. It's like, I have to stick to exactly this one thing. Otherwise I'm not worthy.
People are uncomfortable and afraid of the unknown.
Yeah.
Because they forget that the unknown also is where all possibility exists.
Yeah.
And so when you shut yourself down there, you shut yourself down to everything.
All the good stuff. Yeah.
You will experience an equal measure of pleasure and pain where you living your life.
Yeah.
Do you want to lean in? Do you want to really go for it? Or you gonna to me, it kind of feels like it's like people get to a place where they resign themselves. They, like you said, shut down a little bit. It's like, you can't keep learning and growing and evolving if you're just going to do the same things all the time and never open up your mind to new possibility. Mm-hmm. There's no age where I think I'll get to where I'll feel like I don't want to remain curious.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the most, that drives me. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm a very curious person.
Yeah. And I think this even comes back to the story about my grandma. There is no age limit. Mm-mm. And people say, oh, life is short, but I'm like, life is fucking long. And I don't want to just stick with a mistake because I made it. Mm-hmm. Or not even a mistake, just a choice. And then be like, well, now I'm going to choose another choice. Mm-hmm. Because I want to be able to experience all sorts of things in life. That's why I love what I do, because it's always different. The thought of having to do the same thing every day, makes my skin crawl. I'm like, well, nope, no, I don't want to.
And you know what? Also, if that's what you need, if you need that repetition, if that's who you are, And that's authentically, truly who you are. And that makes you happy. And you're fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
You're fulfilled being that person. Man, do it.
Giver. Yeah.
But you have to ask yourself, are you fulfilled? And I think that that's always going to change.
Yeah.
That's always going to change.
So how would you know if you're fulfilled? Like, if you would have gone back to the woman who was standing at the top of the stairs with the kids, like at that moment, if someone had been like, are you fulfilled? Would you have said yes?
That's a good question. At the time, no, I would have said no. I would have said no. My marriage was not good from the beginning. I felt alone almost all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a hard truth for me to share.
Yeah.
I don't want to, cause pain with my truth.
Mm-hmm.
But I cried myself to sleep a lot. I felt isolated. I felt misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
I felt lonely. No, it was dark. But I took what I had and I made a life the best I could, with what I had.
Yeah.
I was resourceful. I remember when I started reading books again, because I used to love to read, and then I didn't read for quite a while. I had little kids, and and I remember I started reading books again, and I was like, oh my God, I miss stories. It was so funny to think now that just picking up a book, I read A Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Genius by David Eggers.
Oh.
And it was, and still is, one of my favorite books. It's a memoir. And the author's story, he talks about the death of his parents and then transitioning into essentially being the father to his younger brother.
Mm.
And just the way he wrote and the things he said, I felt like there was this person out there in the world that understood me in my little dark corner of my universe,
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, my day-to-day life with my kids, it was special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the biggest things of growth is being able to look at stuff and be like, this is really hard and also really beautiful. And both can be true.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That is a fundamental truth. That's a fundamental truth.
I felt a lot of that, wrestling with my story and, my background, because I think a lot of people want to peg it with one thing. Did you have a good childhood or did you have a bad childhood? And I'm like, I had a both.
Mm-hmm.
I had a yes and.
Mm-hmm.
My therapist taught me that.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, both can be true.
As
I'm
they
can
do.
you stop saying that?
Yeah.
But it's true. I can look back and, because I think nostalgia is such a thing that fucks people up.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can look back now at pictures of when the kids were little and we were all together and I'm like, oh my God, I fucked up. And then other times I'm like, no, that was one snapshot of one moment. And there were also a lot of heartbreaking ones and a lot of really good ones. And where we are now doesn't make that moot. It doesn't erase that.
Life is like a soup, right?
Yeah.
Just a plain bone broth. Sure, that's good. But I like a soup that's got lots of stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just better that way. More flavors.
Yeah.
And all of the flavors mixed together.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can't get rid of your past. So like coming to terms with it, I think
it's healing.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to do that work.
Mm-hmm.
We all have things. Like, nobody's immune.
Nobody.
There is not a single person that exists that doesn't have some sort of trauma, that doesn't have some sort of element to overcome. Elements.
Yeah.
I mean, I was, writing in my journal a couple days ago about how I was kind of like thinking about being strong.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many times, over the last year where that came up. It's like, oh, you're so strong, and like, I need to be strong. And it hit me that being strong is not easy, but we never talk about that.
Yeah.
We talk about, you're so strong. Look at you go. You can be strong. You can do it. But we don't really break that down very often.
No.
All the things it takes to be strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote them all down. All the things I thought. And it was a very, very long list.
Very. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And I think people love to say things like, oh, you're so strong, because they're like, oh, it like seems a bit messy what you're doing here. But if I say you're strong, then we can all just agree that you're.
I love messy. Can I just say that?
Good.
Can we please like get rid of this misnomer that like messy is bad? Messy is fucking beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine if there was no people that existed within that space? We would have no art.
None.
We would have no science.
Mm-hmm. Because science, the literal point of science is you fuck around and find out.
People that are on the cutting edge of science, those are some messy fucking people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is why people don't make a movie until you're dead, because they want to see how this shit plays out. They're like, is it going to go villain or is it going to go good? And we don't know. So we don't make a movie in the middle.
And it's so funny too, right? Because it's like, we're not just one thing. If my yoga training taught me anything, it's like that whole idea of equanimity, We are all at once everything and nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And a whole universe exists within us as it exists out there. Everything is connected. That's why you're responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And you only have control over yourself. You have no control over anything else except how you will react.
Mm-hmm.
And you can even react and set forth your best intention, but you never have any control over the outcome.
No. And that's the scariest part.
Yeah. But it's also the most beautiful part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Right? My kids are really in a superhero phase, and they're always talking about the good guys and the bad guys. I'm like, I don't think anybody is good or evil. I think everybody has both inside them.
Oh, I'm very comfortable with, I had a conversation with a friend like a while back, and he was talking about how he is like so afraid of his dark side.
Dark side, yeah.
Not me. Fuck no. I don't know what I'd do without her. And also, I am more than comfortable coexisting all the dark, all the light.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good or bad.
Yeah.
It's that kind of comes back. It's kind of a weird circle for me. I was talking about this last night with my roommate, is that I actually love that the gender barriers are breaking down. It's very, very meaningful for me. I feel like society needs that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, these energies, the feminine and the masculine, it's like gravity. They will always exist in that space.
Yeah.
But we get to exist within that space.
Yeah.
We are all of the feminine. We are all of the masculine. And until we can embrace that as human beings and live that way, I'm sorry. I'm fucking done with showing up as the woman.
Mm-hmm.
Preach. I'm a being.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fully comfortable as a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I am very comfortable being in my masculine energy as a woman. And I feel like the more that's embraced as a society and just in the world at large, that people will find more meaningful ways to connect.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And understand each other.
Yeah.
And see each other.
And like the whole person.
Yeah.
I 1000% agree with this because I think that people, they put too much into one bucket that they completely miss half themselves. Like I love the masculine parts of me and I love the feminine parts of me. And I think that when you pigeonhole somebody into like, especially I feel like this with men, if you pigeonhole them into only being masculine, you rob so much of the good parts about them.
I know.
And then they get so scared of fucking that masculine thing up that they end up being like ragey or mean or, you know, the things we don't want about them. And then we're like condemning them. And I'm like, no, like let him be his whole self. And then he's going to be fucking amazing. Like my son is so tender and juicy. And like, I love that about him. I'm like, don't let the world ruin that for him because he is like such an embodiment of the feminine and the masculine. And he flows between art and science so much. Like for him, magic is a fact.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I fucking love that.
It is a fact.
I know, but he knows that. He tells me already. Like he tells me about his past lives because they're facts for him. And I'm like, I don't want anyone to ruin that. But I feel like being able to embrace my masculine side was like the thing that set me free because I always felt out of place. I always felt big and huge. I was like, even though I'm not like actually that much bigger than most people, I just felt like I had linebacker shoulders and I was so big and like I never looked good in a tank top.
I mean, I have felt that way quite often in my life as well.
And it's not even about size. It's because I had this masculine energy and I felt like it made dudes uncomfortable.
Totally.
And then as soon as I was able to like embrace that and the people were like, holy shit, like you look so different. And I don't think it's because my hair changed. I think it's because my demeanor changed.
Absolutely.
And like people from the church don't recognize me. And people from like when I was my freest, like main stage and stuff in high school, they recognize me.
Yeah.
Because I was able to be myself there. Like, that's why I always loved theater and like Halloween. Cause I was like, I can be anybody. Right?
Yes.
And I loved that, like trying things on and being different. Like sometimes I want to wear a crop top and I'd be tits out. Another time I just like want to look like a teenage boy. And like both things are good and beautiful. And I can be beautiful in all of them. And people are like, why do you have a boy haircut and eyelashes? I'm like, cause I like it.
Yeah.
And like nothing, like even people within the queer community, like I've had experiences where people are like, well, like, I don't get it. Like, who are you? And I'm like, just me.
Oh, I just like appreciate that so much. So fucking much. Like, why should we even ever worry about anything other than what exists for us, right? It's like, the boxes, they do, they hold us back and I think that's where the shame comes from.
Definitely. I don't like the labels. Like when people are always like, well, what is your label? And I'm like, queer. And they're like, what does that mean? I mean, to me, queer means not straight, but the details are none of your fucking business.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Preach.
Because I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't ask you what you prefer.
Yeah.
And also, like, actual sex is such a small part of queerness for me. Like, queerness to me is like, oh, this big, huge, beautiful, like, field of flowers. And then, like, the sex part is like one little rock. Like, that's only one part of it. And I think people can't understand that. And that's why people are so scared. They're like, oh, how can kids come out? Because, like, you know, it's about sex. I'm like, it's not about sex.
Well, and not only that, like, people get afraid of exposure. It's like, oh no, like, what, you know, what kind of ideas is this going to plant into their heads? I think that's breaking down a little bit, but it's definitely, it still exists. I think that we worry too much about things that don't matter.
Yeah. Kids are going to find a way to grow up to be who they want to be, with or without.
Well, and self-expression is beautiful.
So beautiful.
Self-expression is something we should celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, coming from my fashion background and all of that, I love that physical self-expression. I live for it.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's something that not only brings me joy, but that I recognize in other people, and seeing it in other people brings me joy.
Like, when you see someone in an outfit that they're like,
oh my God,
know it's transforming the way they feel about themselves, and they're like walking. Like, I want to fangirl them, whoever they are. I'm like, I don't know you, but thank you for just being you.
There's so many times when I had my shop that I'd have like a woman come in and she'd try on some things, and I'd like offer her some suggestions, and she'd try them on, and she'd come out and she'd look fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. But the first thing out of her mouth would be, I really like it, but my husband wouldn't.
Yeah.
It was so hard for me to keep my mouth shut.
I'm terrible about keeping my mouth shut about shit like that. I'm like, oh, you can get a new husband.
I know. Well, so I would often kind of like make a joke, but I think that it would kind of hurt my heart a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like, and a lot of times, like, my response would be, how do you feel? Mm-hmm. How you feel is a lot more important than how you look.
Yes.
But here's the secret. If you feel good, you will never look bad. That is
100% agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So don't worry so much about the shell.
Yeah.
How do you feel? What is this giving you? Mm-hmm. And then if it's giving you everything you need, and you go out and the people in your life make you feel bad, well, fuck, you need to take a look.
Yes.
At the people you have in your life.
Yeah.
You chose that shit. Mm-hmm. Do you want to live with that? That's on you. I feel like people resign themselves so often to the criticism of others because they feel like there's no other option.
Yeah.
Oh, girl, you got options. So many fucking options. There's a lot of options.
You can make a new family. You can make a new everything. Mm-hmm. You can make a new you. That's the thing.
You can make a new you. You can make a more sure version of yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the new you.
Yeah.
That's the new, you know.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Like, just thinking just now, like, I used to debate endlessly about what I would wear. I'd be like, oh no, this looks bad. Like, now I just put my shit on and I go. Mm-hmm. Because like pretty much everything in my closet is what I like.
Yeah.
So I just like feel good because I know I look good. Mm-hmm. It's like, Oh,
well,
yeah.
and you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, like that's, let's not negate the fact that it's important to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Like, over all the years of, you know, being a mom and doing all of the things that I did always make time to be active.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, you know, to be honest, it managed my mental health.
Yeah.
Was my main purpose at the time. It was my only outlet, and it literally got me through my day, was that physical activity. I had workout videos. Oh yeah. I would put my DVDs on, and I kicked my kids in the head a few times. I'd be like, don't come near mommy when she's doing her kickboxing. I'd put on my kickboxing DVD, and I'd just be like, fuck. Fuck.
Oh my God. So right before we got divorced, we went to a Rumble Boxing had this free thing.
Yeah.
And I think the trainer was he was sensing some shit. It was our last hurrah. It was weird. We went on a weekend, and we both knew it was over, but we were we're just going to pretend for one more weekend. And we went to this thing, and the trainer was like, okay, now I'm going to have you hit him. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. And I got to punch him a lot of times, and I was like, oh, I think this healed a lot in us. And then we can move forward. But there's something about physical activity.
But how did he feel?
He fucking loved it. He said he did. I think he's like, all right,
I like
you got it out of your system, and now we can just move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a gym set up in my garage, and the kids know I'm in the morning, that's what I'm doing. Don't fuck it with my time.
Yeah.
My daughter, she has ADHD, and I do cold plunges too, and now she does them too, and I'm
good.
I don't know,
amazing.
I can't save you from school being a struggle or from friends being a struggle, but I can teach you a couple things.
Yeah,
definitely. How to manage your own self so you can make a friend. You don't need 20, but you should have a friend.
Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. One of my good friends in high school, her mom would always say the same thing. You don't need a lot of friends. You just need one really good friend.
Yeah.
And that's all you really hope for your kids, is for a friend. You're like, God, just send them a friend.
Right.
Please. Someone who's just as weird as they are.
Right.
That they can talk to for hours and laugh with and be a kid with.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the magic in life when you're a kid. Yeah.
Well, and when you're an adult too. Having a friend who just gets you.
Okay, literally right now I work with a couple of my really close friends. It's not a sexy job, but I'll take that back. It's pretty sexy at the health food store.
That it's a sexy place to be. It is.
But the best part is literally laughing my way through my day. Mm-hmm. It's just so lighthearted.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I need right now. And yeah, I feel that's where I feel most blessed in my life, where I feel like I have the most abundance in my life is my friends. And I couldn't have done what I did without my friends. Mm-hmm. And I think that there was a time that kind of landed on me. I realized that that I was being circled by friends and support. The universe was giving me what I needed to do what I needed, because I knew what I needed to do for a long time.
Yeah.
But I was afraid, and I was terrified. Yeah. I was terrified. I couldn't imagine anything other than what I'd been doing for so many years. And I know there's particular things totally stepping out of my comfort zone and and doing the shop, even though, COVID caused me a slow death. I truly believe that experience gave me the confidence I needed to move my life forward.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like that for me wasn't about business. It wasn't, I learned a lot. It wasn't about my career.
Yeah.
It was a lot more about just my journey as a whole.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, I had some really good times, but it was also a lot of work.
Yeah. And I think people get really hung up on like one thing being their purpose. That they're like, no, if this one thing isn't working, then I don't have a purpose and then I'm a failure. Whereas I feel like you have like a soul contract purpose and like there are many ways to go down that purpose road.
I love that. That is exactly how I feel.
Because like if you attach yourself too much to one thing, then you end up like choking the joy out of it.
Totally. Yeah. And I'm fucking done hiding.
Yeah.
Like I feel no shame. I don't.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't think most people can say that.
Yeah. Maybe there's more shame to be had. I don't know.
There is fresh shame on the way. Don't you worry.
Just a sprinkling of cherries on my fresh shame.
Fresh shame for everyone.
I said to my daughter recently, my 17-year-old daughter, that we were having a conversation, and because it's been a journey for my kids too. And I was never totally conservative. I've always been still me.
Yeah.
Within, but not, living out loud, I guess. But I said to her that I feel like, because I've been so open with her and we are so open with each other, about sex, for example, that I feel like, I just because of our background, I told her that I hope that she understands that in the long run, having a mother that is comfortable talking to her about things and, being comfortable with who I am and my own sexual experiences and my own sex life and my own, I'm very sex positive. And I wanted to have a conversation with her about that because I just said to her, I know it's not easy, like having a mom that's single and I'm dating and she understands. I said, it's intrinsically better this way.
Yeah.
She's my child. She doesn't know everything, obviously.
Yeah.
But our conversations are always open. There is nothing off the table that she can't bring up. And I'm more than happy and feel blessed that I get to be the one to share information with her as she sees fit. Because, guess where I learned mine? From the stash of porno magazines I found in my uncle's basement, and drag queens. That explains a lot.
Yes, that's good. But I think that's so important because people are always like, I want to protect my kids and I want to keep them safe. But then they won't say anything.
Well, and also, you know what? Okay, full disclosure, you know, for the last 5 years of my marriage, I didn't even share a bedroom with my spouse.
Mm-hmm.
I was like so unfulfilled. And I didn't want him near me. I didn't want him to see me naked. Like, I was just like, just felt like I needed to protect myself all the time. And I said to one of my best friends one day, because she was like, what changed? Like, why all of a sudden were you like, I'm done? And I said, I woke up and I remembered I'm a woman. This bitch has been in here this whole time. I was like, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done. It's time for me.
Yeah.
It's my time. It's my time now.
Yeah.
And I feel good about it. And I don't feel shame for that.
Good.
And I also don't, you know, feel bad about sharing that.
Yeah.
That's very private, but also I think we need to talk about things like that more in this type of a setting.
Yeah. Well, it makes no sense that there are like books in the Christian section that are like how to please your husband, but then there's also no books about like how to please your fucking self. Like there's like none of that. It's like you are a sexual object and like learn these things, but like the you part is never a part of it.
Yeah.
And it's so confusing as a young person when there's like, because I went to Christian school, so there was no sex ed. It was just like, you're going to get your period at some point, ask your mother, and you may never have sex until you're married. But then once you are married, like, whatever he wants, it's a yes. And I'm like, but I don't even know what those things would be.
Guess what? That sounds like an abusive relationship.
It sounds very fucking abusive. And then it's very, obviously I didn't follow that model. But I was like, there was no context for any of these things. And I was like, well, I can't ask my mother.
No.
Like, God forbid I ask her.
Yeah.
And then there was no, like, I had no idea. I got to high school and I was like, oh my God, what is going on here? And then like, I got through a couple of years, so then I could tell my sisters. I was like, okay, listen up. There's a lot of weird things. And they were like, oh. And I was like, yeah, no, like, it's weird, but like, let me explain what I know.
They are lucky they had you.
And I mean, of course it wasn't
I always wished I had a big sister.
But it's so weird. Like even now there's things that like people are super ashamed of. And it's like,
yeah,
I think there's not enough talk about how like sex is a really normal part of life. And also like it's so shrouded in
a healthy,
secrecy.
Fulfilling sexual relationship. I mean, with yourself. I'm talking about the relationship you have with yourself is important for your own well-being as a human being.
100%.
There's no way around it. And I think that like, there's also no way around experience. The only way to have that relationship is experience.
Yeah.
But it's awesome.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to?
Well, and like taking the fear out of it. Like, it was like, I mean, and there are like natural consequences. Obviously, like you don't want like,
no, you need to,
But there's no safety, I think, because people are so afraid of it and they have to be so quiet. So if something happens that's weird, they can't go to their mom and be like, so I was trying some stuff and this part felt weird. Is that weird? And your mom can't be like, oh yeah, no, that's crossing a line. That's not okay. Or if it didn't feel right to you, it's not okay because the whole thing is off limits.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, thank God for, that you
had that conversation with your daughter is amazing because I wished I would have had that.
Oh, me too. I needed it. I needed it. You know, I lost my virginity when I was 15 to this guy that I had a massive crush on. I was a raper. So I was like partying a lot. So my whole, like high school dropout, I said, I was a meth addict, but I had met this guy at like going out. I just was like in love with him. Like I just thought he was so hot. I couldn't speak around him. Like, he was older than me. He was tall. He was like this amazing skateboarder and like just like dressed so cute and like super handsome. And I was like, oh my God, stop. And he was quite a bit older than me. So, he would always tease me and like we would chat and he'd always be like, oh, you're so young. And I'd be like, no, I'm grown. I'd be like, I'm a lady. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, test me out, bro. Like, I just
The right age.
yeah.
So much confidence.
Right? Oh, but like literally. And we were at this rave and it got shut down. The cops came and I was high as a fucking kite. I was on ecstasy and I literally went back to his house with him. We played Scrabble for about 5 minutes.
Good segue.
Yeah. And then we had sex. And I remember that, like, it, you know, it wasn't like, it didn't hurt. It wasn't like, it was like nothing. I was just like, oh my God, I'm with Robbie. This is like, I remember he had a Pixies poster on his wall. Sweet futon, you know.
Oh,
classic.
futon.
Classic. So then I had left some of my things at his house. So I went back to get them. And my friend, one of my best friends at the time, she was really cool. She was quite a bit older than me, but like, she was like the big sister that I needed.
Mm-hmm.
She told me that she felt like I was going to regret it if I didn't tell him that I had lost my virginity to him.
Oh.
So I decided I was going to tell him. Yeah, it was a mistake. Uh-huh. Yeah. I went to his house and like picked up my stuff and was like I didn't expect anything from him.
Mm-hmm.
I truly didn't. I didn't think, oh, he's my boyfriend now. I literally was like, oh, we had sex. It's cool. Like, maybe we will again. I don't know. Like, I was honestly like just kind of all I expected was respect. Yeah. And honestly, that's all I still expect is honesty and respect. Yeah. And I sat down and I told him, I said, you know, I just want you to know that like I was a virgin. And he was like, what? He was so angry. Oh dear. He was so angry. I was confused. I was like, why the fuck do you care? It's my life. And he was like, you're not supposed to do that with me. You're supposed to lose your virginity to like your boyfriend who loves you. And like, he kept going on and on. And I was like, says you? Yeah. I was like, fuck you. Right? Mm-hmm. So then, you know, after that, like I would see him sometimes and I still had like such a massive crush on him. And he would usually treat me like shit and ignore me. But sometimes he would, if he was like, I don't know, in the mood of some sort, he would come over and like, you know, he'd see me at a party and he would come over and like make out with me or dance. He'd just fucking use me. And I was just fine with it, mm-hmm. You know? And I remember, you know, after, you know, over a year of knowing him, I was at his house one day because we had lots of mutual friends. And I remember saying, I went into his room, he was in there, and he was like laying in his bed. And I was like, you treat me like shit. And he was like, what are you talking about? I had no idea. No. Okay, hold on, we got to pause again. And I said, well, you use me and you take advantage of me and you constantly hurt my feelings and you only give me attention when it serves you. And he was just like, why are we having this conversation? And I was like, okay. I remember I was really hurt, like really upset.
Yeah.
It really hurt me. It made me feel so insignificant.
Yeah.
And then I saw him a number of years later. I lived with my boyfriend at the time, and I was engaged. I was like 19. I was 19 and engaged and lived with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
And he came into the place where I worked, and he looked terrible. And he was like, oh, like, would you want to hang out sometime? And I was like, no.
Sorry, man.
I don't want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
I truly don't. Yeah. It was just a weird, like, circling back to, it was weird that the universe kind of like sent him into my world all those years later. I think, obviously, after that, I just kind of felt like a little bit healed from my experience. I realized this person that I had attached all these like really significant feelings to that made me feel insignificant was like not, I don't want to say worthy, because he's still, a worthy human being. Everybody's worthy, but just that I could just let go of it, that it didn't have the meaning that I felt like it had, and that was okay, that it was okay. It was okay that it wasn't, a thing anymore.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh yeah, okay, whatever, that's one of the nice things about growing and maturing, I guess, is perspective. Yeah. Right? Perspective and aging is also healing.
Yeah.
If you let it be, if you take the moments.
Well, it's like time can either be so healing or so damaging. Like the time's going to happen either way. But if you're in the trajectory of healing or on the trajectory of just like, this is shitty and I still feel like a victim, like time can compound it either way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I never even remember feeling like a victim. I think that I was confused.
Yeah.
I think that was what it was. It was real feelings of being confused. Like I just wanted some clarity. I think if you're always willing to, no matter the situation, communicate.
Yeah.
I think that's a level of respect that I just wasn't reciprocated. And I was confused why.
Well, I think that nobody is taught like to explore their own sexuality. And the thing is that there's like this stigma that girls attach more meaning to it than boys.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And also like that,
which I find to be very interesting.
And that doesn't leave any room for the boys to be like, maybe his reaction to you telling him that it was your first time was like, he wished he'd had a better experience than his first time.
There was no way for me to know.
And he couldn't say that. Like,
I know.
What if he had been taught as a boy that like, yeah, like explore your own sexuality. And also when you have an experience with someone, you're going to feel feelings. Like,
he was definitely triggered.
Yeah.
Right? There's no way for me to know why that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that's relationships. I think it's hard because you want to communicate, but also communication. It's something I've thought about a lot, especially since my divorce.
Yeah.
Because now I have to communicate with this person that I find extremely toxic, who I would prefer to never speak to again.
Yeah.
But I don't have a choice. I have to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
And so I find that with some people, it doesn't matter what you say,
Mm-hmm.
what your intention is,
Yeah.
even if you're clear. I'm a pretty clear communicator. I am. I know I am. I say what's on my mind. It's, your words, you can put them out there, but you have no, like I said, you don't have a control over anything else. You have no control over how those words are going to be perceived or received.
Yeah.
So, even knowing, Robbie back then could have communicated all of his, things to me, and I still don't know how that would have landed, but that experience was definitely, kind of set me on a trajectory, I think, at that time, of just sort of free and open sexual experience, that I've remained very unattached generally, because because it did hurt. It hurt.
Yeah.
And I don't, I don't remember feeling like that was something that I was willing to experience again with anyone else. But I mean, I had a lot of fun. Yeah.
But I think it's important, to try things, to do things, to explore. And if you're in safe relationships or even just safe encounters, then you can.
Absolutely. And that's being a grown-up is way, way better.
You can drive yourself. You can say no.
Yeah. You just have a lot more control over, who you invite in and who you choose to experience things with. And there's still a lot of people that struggle with communication, but generally communication is a lot better.
Yeah.
I think too, that other people who are like-minded, especially if they're open-minded, are just generally better at communicating. They're used to it.
Yeah. They've had some practice.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. It does. It takes practice.
It does.
It truly does.
And once you reach a certain age, most people have been to therapy at least once and have a little bit of knowledge of themselves, and you can talk some shit through. I think that's one of the cool things about adult relationships is you can not agree on everything and still be friends.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love the moments when I'm disagreeing with my closest friends. It's never an argument. But I always appreciate their perspective. Even if I disagree, I still really appreciate them sharing their perspective. And to be honest, I'm not a super disagreeable person. If you're going to tell me this is what I think, I'm probably not going to disagree with you, because you're entitled to your own opinion. And I also want the same respect.
Yeah.
I'll tell you my perspective as well. This is my perspective. My perspective is based on the culmination of my life experience. And that's the only thing I know. I don't know anything different. And that's all we all know.
Mm-hmm.
So, everyone really is just doing their best.
Yeah. I think I've really found expanding my circle and having friends outside of, who I grew up with in my religion, and having adult friends who are not my parents or my grandparents or aunts and uncles, people who don't have a vested interest in if I turn out right, is so cool. Because I can just talk with them and hear their experience. They can hear mine, and they're not oh my God, what does this mean for the future? They're just oh, interesting. And it's so cool.
One thing I notice about most of my closest people in my life, they're all very non-judgmental.
It's important.
Very important. Yeah. Like I've said before, I don't, for lack of better words, I don't care what your truth is. I just want to know it.
Yeah.
If you're willing to be vulnerable and share it with me and we have fun together, you gotta be fun.
No wet blankets, please. Agreed.
And fun is relative.
Yes. Everyone has a different idea of fun, and
you just gotta be a little spontaneous. Yeah. I think that, you draw like-minded people towards you the more that you lean into who you are. And also, you are an average of the 6 people you spend the most of your time with.
Yeah.
So it's important to be surrounded by good people.
Yeah. And it's really you hear that, and then you look back at the people you hung out with at certain points in your life, and you're oh, this makes so much sense.
Yeah.
I get it now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I did make some changes, and I feel good about it.
Yeah. There's some shuffling.
Yeah.
The 6 people.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know what the future holds. I always say that. And I hope that I can keep going.
Yes. Please do.
Yeah. And just, do this does feel it's my time. I feel I feel like I am where I'm meant to be doing the things that I'm meant to be doing. And I'm excited. I feel excited about life.
That's so important.
Yeah.
I think we can get really caught up in just the day-to-day that there is nothing to look forward to.
And then you're oh, no. I know.
So because the theme of the podcast is rising from the ashes, if you could give any advice to someone who's in the ashy, burny part, not quite risen, what would you say?
I would say you can walk. You don't have to run.
Yeah. I love that. There's so much pressure. I think
we imagine this transformation, and it's it happens suddenly, and it's overnight. I mean, that never happens.
No.
It's not the true story.
No.
I mean, even today when I was thinking of coming to talk to you, I was I feel is this a good time? I just feel I'm in this in between. I'm not, I used to have my shop and I was doing my shop, or or And then I realized, I was like, you know what? There's not ever going to be a time where I feel like I've reached you know what I mean? Like, that's never going to happen.
Yeah. If people want to like connect with you, or do stuff with you,
right,
what do they do?
All right. So I teach yoga at Full Circle in Okotoks. We have a fabulous schedule there. And it's my favorite place that I've worked. And I would just say, come into our little home away from home and spend time with us. Just show up. Don't worry about it. I always say, like, getting on your mat is the hardest part. So show up, just come, just lay in the back of the room. Just be there. Just be, just being there sometimes is all you need. And if people are always like, well, I'm trying. I want you to know that if you're trying, you're doing the yoga. It's called practice for a reason.
That is the yoga.
That is the yoga.
Yes.
The trying is the yoga. Okay? So I want to just preface with that, because there's so many people I talk to that are like, I really want to do yoga. I know I need to do it. Yeah. So just show up. Just do it. Just do it. And do that for yourself. That being said, if yoga's not what you need, then do something else for yourself. It changed my life for the better. I love it. I'm super grateful that I get to work with the people that I work with at Full Circle, and that it's so close to my home, and that it's in my community. And I just love the practice. So, and it's like, you just never know what'll happen in class. True. So maybe it's an exciting adventure too. You just never know. But our schedule is going to be changing for the fall, but I think we're going to be having like over 30 classes or something like that.
Nice.
On the schedule. So, but I want to see you. Come see me. I would just make me feel so happy and make you happy. Probably. I'm just going to say probably. I mean,
you might need it.
Yeah. And I mean, just, it's all about getting out of your head. Just show up. Just show up, breathe. Are you breathing? Can you lay on a mat? Can you move your leg? That's all you need. That's all you need to do. I mean,
So I've been doing yoga poorly for years, and I love it. I'm not like, it doesn't look like the person at the front of the class or like the video, but I just keep doing it.
But also, just so you know, that a lot of people who have a really intense, deep yoga practice, they've been practicing for a long time, they've got severe injuries. So, like, it's about, this is what I always say, nobody is in your body but you. So the most important thing that you can learn in yoga class is connecting with that space, feeling comfortable there, and listening. What do you need? And then knowing how to get what you need. How to give yourself what you need. It's like golf. It's just you and the yoga.
I love that. So also,
I don't play golf.
No.
But maybe you do. And it's like landing for you. Okay, this is what you can expect in class.
Nothing like golf.
It's offbeat. Good. I love that. I like to play a lot of Sade. I have refrained from saying touch yourself, but maybe that's coming.
I think you should bring that back.
I think I should.
I would go to a yoga class.
I recently brought back my Shavasana assist, which I didn't do for a long time because of COVID. And it's so nice all I do is I take some really nice essential oil, and I usually just gently press on people's foreheads and maybe press their shoulders down. Just that moment of connection, physical touch. We're missing that massively in our society.
Yes.
And of course, I if you don't want to be touched, I won't touch you, but it can be transformative, I think. Just it's so simple. Just that simple moment of just especially after the yoga. It's even better. Yes. So come experience it.
Definitely.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much. This has been an amazing conversation, and I'm so excited for everyone to hear it. And I hope we can do this again sometime.
I just appreciate you. I'm so glad we know each other.
Me too.
Yeah. This is a good little corner of the universe.
I agree.
Yeah.
Here on Rainbow Road.
Here on Rainbow Road. Yeah. Rainbow Road for life.
Yes.
Let's end with that.
Hey, I'm Stephanie Rose, and I am the host of the West Rose Media podcast, Lessons from the Ashes. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and on Threads and on TikTok and all the places. My handle is @Westrose Media. Check out my website too. There are so many resources for people just like you, people who are climbing out of the ashes, ready to make a new life. I got you, babe. Make sure you follow along. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast. That way you never miss an episode, and I can keep doing the magic. I can't wait to keep going. Let's get into it.